Hello everyone, and welcome to this channel's first ever figure review. Now, I just want to again welcome you all to this brand new channel, More Figures Than Meets the Eye. Now, this will be a channel with a lot of variety on the kind of figures and stuff we'll be looking at, but I want to kick off this channel with my first review, starting with the Jakks specific Sonic the Hedgehog 4-inch figure. Now, before we begin, please let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this channel, if you think there's anything I could do better, what you like about these videos. But let's begin, first off, looking at the figure's packaging. Now, the figure comes packaged in this plastic, I believe it's called the plastic prison, some people call it, with the cutout of the figure. I personally really like this kind of packaging. Like, yeah, I know, for example, Hasbro was getting rid of it, saying that it's to help out the environment, but personally, I never throw out with this packaging, so it's definitely useful here. Now, you can definitely see stuff like a render of Sonic. It says it's articulated, and it has accessories. I guess they should just say accessory, it's only one. Each one comes with the same style packaging. These mainline video game based modern Sonic figures, the only difference being of course the name, and in the back it gives you a bio of Sonic. Now, it also contains 11 points of articulation, one single accessory. Now, I really like that it comes with a description. It says, the world's fastest blue hedgehog Sonic runs off top speed and can use his special humming attack ability to save the natural world around him. Now, I guess that's an interesting bio on Sonic. You can see a render of the figure, and okay, I've had this figure for a while now, a couple of months, I believe on around October, November, December 2022, around then, and that's why I'm showing the package and then the figure. Now, my plan is, after review, send some of these figures I already have in my collection. When I get new figures, before I take out the packaging, I gotta show them off. So yeah, excuse me for showing the open box and then doing the open figure, but let's continue. And let's start off with Sonic the Hedgehog himself. Now, it's a pretty good Sonic figure, okay? I'm not gonna pretend I'm like a huge Sonic expert. This is the only 4-inch modern Sonic figure I have. I've been collecting these Jakks specific figures for a couple of months now, but I'm not gonna pretend I'm like a huge expert who grew up on the Jazzwares figures or the Tomy figures. This is my first like main Sonic, so I'm not gonna pretend I have the other figures and say, oh, it's better or worse than those. But he's a pretty well done Sonic figure. Now, first off, he does look like Sonic, which is a good start. And I think that the paint has been really well applied. He definitely looks good. And this is something I find interesting, and it's that it seems like no one can really decide on the main shade of blue used on Sonic. Like here you can see my dark blue, and that's normally the modern Sonic color, but for some reason a lot of merchandise has different colors from different blues for Sonic. But overall I think that the figure here looks pretty nice. Now, you can definitely see that he has some really good paint job, but it's not perfect. You can definitely see there a little little scratch on the white paint. You can definitely see that it was supposed to be covered in red, but it has a bit of a splotch of white. And apart from that, he's a really well done figure. He's not like the most complex figure out there. He doesn't have like hyper realistic textures. Like Jakks specific has also done more detailed Sonic, such as the movie Sonic, but this is like the main video game Sonic. So he's very simple in that aspect, and in that regard, I think the figure looks pretty great. You can definitely see there the code that they use for the figure, and he overall looks pretty fantastic. Now, one issue that there is with the Sonic figure is that he's very top heavy. Now, for example, here he kind of goes back. He's very top heavy, he has a massive head, the massive spikes, and that's definitely a character trait on the Sonic character designs, like the large head, the very small round body, long arms, even longer legs and big shoes. So in that regard, it does work for Sonic, but again, he can be a bit top heavy. Now, I have him here very close to my background so he doesn't fall. but I just recommend to be careful. Like, there is a way to pose this Sonic, there is a way to keep him standing like that, but again, I'd recommend to be careful with this figure. Now, getting into the articulation. Now, the packaging says that Sonic has 11 points of articulation. So first off, he can rotate the head, no, he can do the 360 degree thing, but he can't look up and down, which is a bit of a shame. We can have articulated arms, the hands, which is really nice. He definitely has, I believe it's called a ball joint here on the legs, so you can also accidentally take off the legs. I recommend to be very careful. I've seen some people who take these Sonic figures out of the packaging and the legs pop off, so I'd be really careful with that. He has some knee articulation, which is pretty great, and a swivel here at the shoe. Now, of course, same thing from the other side, and that's kind of it. Okay, there are some Sonic figures that have a bit more articulation, like Jakks used to have on their 3-inch figures, knee joint, apart from the knee joints, elbow joints, which, yeah, probably will look really great on this Sonic. But again, maybe it's a stability thing, since those Jakks figures used to break very often. So overall, sure, he's not the world's most articulate Sonic, but he gets the job done. He's very well made and very well articulated. Now, for his accessory, he only comes with one, being this star button. Now, yeah, this is something I kind of don't like about some of these Jakks specific figures, since they may come with some land accessories or stuff that's not really keen to Sonic. Like, here's the thing, with these Jakks specific Sonic figures, they tend to re-release them very often in different waves. Like, the figure may have a slightly different paint job, or just compacted with a different accessory. Now, I believe this is like the first wave Sonic. They re-released this figure multiple times, the most recent being this 2023. He comes with a skateboard, and again, I got this guy for a while now. So the button is really nicely painted. Of course, it's very faithful to the video games, and even spring-loaded, so you can press it, and you can even have the figure press it, which, yeah, it works, but again, I wish he just had maybe something more specific to him, but Sonic is never really known to carry any specific item, so I guess just to give you an accessory, it works. And now, comparing Sonic to Knuckles from the same line, not the same wave, but you know, again, they're commonly re-released, so it kind of works now. Knuckles I've just had for a couple of weeks now, and the scale works pretty well, actually. You can definitely see that Knuckles is slightly taller than Sonic, which is a mistake that a lot of toy companies usually do, is that they make Knuckles the exact same height as Sonic, but Knuckles is meant to be taller than Sonic, so it definitely works here in this Jakks line. And also, I'm gonna start working on the Knuckles review, so be waiting for that one. Next up, here he is next to Amy Rose, and yeah, you can definitely see that the scale is not completely accurate. You can definitely see that Amy is a lot taller than Sonic, which that's not supposed to work. She's supposed to be around slightly shorter than Sonic. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of an issue with Jakks. I might do an Amy review later on, but yeah, the scale does not work entirely well, but there's the size comparison. And here's Sonic compared to the 2.5-inch classic Sonic, which I really wanted to do this comparison just to showcase the difference between these, and I've actually have a bit more of the 2.5-inch figures. They're a lot cheaper, they're $5. These 4-inch ones are $10, so yeah, it's a literal double price. It's a literally double. Sonic here, the modern Sonic, has more articulation, but the classic figure looks pretty nice. I mainly got the 2.5-inch one, and I mainly collect the 2.5-inch classic Sonic figures, so they can be a bit more on scale with the Sonic Generations video game. But there's the comparison. And another thing I'm going to start doing on the channel, which I want to clarify from now, is that besides comparing one figure from a specific line to other figures of the same line, I compare him to other figure lines. So if, for example, you have a certain line and you want to get the figure from a different one, and you're not sure on the scale, I just want to be as more expanded in this case. Now here he is compared to the Space Jam New Legacy Moose Toys Bugs Bunny figure, which is one of my personal favorites in my collection. I'm also going to work on a review for that one. And the scale works pretty well. Like, of course, it was definitely not meant to be like that. You'll probably never see, obviously never see like an official image of Sonic next to Bugs Bunny. I would love that. These are some of my favorite characters of all time. But yeah, I just want to compare him here and compare him to some other characters. Here is Sonic next to the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Marvel Legends Star-Lord. Now, I really wanted to do this comparison because I actually think that these Sonic figures are pretty well in scale with the Marvel Legends. Of course, again, that was not meant to happen. It's basically a happy mistake. Of course, Hasbro did not do the Marvel Legends to be on scale with the Jakks specific Sonic figures or the other way around. This is an accident, but it works so well. Yeah, the Sonic is definitely meant to be shorter than the human. Like, maybe some people will say that maybe 3-inch figure would work. But overall, I think this is pretty fantastic scale. Also expect a review on this Star-Lord. And here he is next to the Wakanda Forever, again, Marvel Legends, Okoye. This is another one I just want to do a quick comparison since Okoye is a bit shorter than Star-Lord. But you can definitely see that still, the scale works pretty well. And finally, I just wanted to do this comparison. Here is Sonic next to the Transformers Rise of the Beasts mainline Voyager class Optimus Prime. Now, yeah, you're probably wondering why on earth would I compare this Sonic figure to a Transformer, but it's because this channel is going to be mainly about Transformers. And again, in order to just give you an idea of the size of Sonic, you can definitely see that Optimus Prime over here is around 6 inches tall, and he's already considered a small Optimus Prime figure, so yeah, the scale truly does not work. Sonic should be even smaller than a 2.5-inch figure to be on scale with Optimus Prime, and also expect this Optimus Prime figure to get a review. He's my favorite figure. Here I'm going to start using for these comparisons, and all the figures that I show you, expect many of them to be commonly used on this channel. Again, just to give it a bit of variety on the kinds of lines you can expect to be reviewed on this channel, and just because I just want to give you a better sense of scale. And so, to wrap up this review, overall, this is a pretty fantastic Sonic figure. Now, I know that there are some more collector-oriented Sonic figures. I know there are much better articulated Sonic figures, but this one means a lot to me. I've been taking him to a lot of vacations, trips, and such. And overall, I think that for what he is, he's $10. He's pretty well articulated. He came out, I believe, around 2021. And I overall think he's a pretty fantastic Sonic figure. Like, yeah, I wish more from the accessory. And I'm gonna say that some people are probably gonna say, oh, the Jazzwares one was a lot better, or, oh, this figure's at least better than Tomy one. But I gotta leave that up to you. Personally, I really like this Jakks-specific Sonic. And I definitely recommend him if you're a Sonic collector, you just want Sonic between your other figures. Like, again, he scales pretty well with the Marvel Legends. Or if you're doing Super Smash Bros. Display, he's definitely very recommendable as well. I'm not gonna do the 1 out of 10 reviews on this channel. I just want to showcase this really cool Sonic figure. Now, let me know in the comments what you thought about this review, what you think about the Sonic figure. Are you interested in any of the other characters I just showed? And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.